I didn't expect the WNBA to feel like this, not because I wasn't confident, not because I didn't prepare, but because no one really explains this part to you. On TV, the league looks fast, skilled, competitive, and it is. But what you don't see is how physical it feels from the very first moment you step on the floor. The first time I took contact, real contact, not the kind you brush off, but the kind that stays with you for the next possession, something clicked in my head. This wasn't college anymore. This wasn't about talent proving itself. This was about surviving possession after possession while still being expected to perform. Every cut felt tighter, every defender felt stronger. Every inch of space felt earned, not given. And what surprised me most wasn't the hits themselves, it was how normal they were. No whistles, no pauses, just play on. That's when I realized something important. The WNBA doesn't test you by giving you one hard moment. It tests you by making that moment constant, by asking if you can stay sharp while your body is being leaned on, grabbed, bumped, and challenged every single trip down the floor. I came in believing confidence would carry me. What I learned quickly was that confidence alone isn't enough when the game demands both skill and endurance at the same time. And that realization didn't come from a headline or a highlight. It came quietly, through repeated contact, through defenders who never relaxed, through games where the scoreboard didn't tell the whole story of what it costs just to stay effective. That's when I understood this league doesn't ease you in. It reveals you. I came into the league with a clear picture in my head of what I thought the adjustment would be. I expected the speed to be faster, the defenses smarter, the margin for error smaller. I expected scouting reports, game plans built to stop me, and nights where shots wouldn't fall. All of that felt normal. That's basketball at the highest level. What I didn't expect was how physicality would shape every single decision before the ball even touched my hands. In college, you could create space with movement and timing. In the WNBA, space is something you have to fight for. Defenders don't just react, they anticipate, they lean, they body you early, they make you feel them before the play even develops. By the time you catch the ball, you've already taken contact twice, and that changes how you think. You start processing faster, not just because the game is quicker, but because you're constantly accounting for pressure on your body. It's not about avoiding contact either, because that's impossible. It's about learning how to move through it without losing balance, rhythm, or confidence. That adjustment doesn't happen overnight. It happens possession by possession, game by game. When you realize that the physical side of the league isn't there to intimidate you, it's there to expose whether your game can hold up when comfort disappears. The first real moment it hit me wasn't even a big play. It wasn't a hard foul that sent me to the floor or a clip that replayed all over social media. It was a routine possession early in a game. I came off a screen, felt a defender grab my hip, another body step into my path, and by the time I squared up, I was already off balance. The shot didn't feel right. The timing was rushed. And as I ran back on defense, I realized how intentional it all was. Nothing was accidental. Every bump, every hand, every angle was designed to wear you down just a little bit more. That's when I understood that physicality in this league isn't about one moment of toughness. It's about consistency. Can you handle that contact in the first quarter and still look sharp in the fourth? Can you take hits, keep moving, and still trust your mechanics when your legs start to feel heavy? Nobody talks about how exhausting that is mentally. Because while your body is absorbing contact, your mind is working overtime, trying to stay calm, trying not to rush, trying not to let frustration creep in. And if you lose that mental battle, even for a few possessions, the game starts slipping away faster than you expect. What makes the physicality in this league different isn't just strength, it's how constant it is. There's no possession where you get to relax. Even when you don't have the ball, someone is touching you, steering you, testing how much space you're willing to fight for. Defenders don't wait for the play to start, they start the battle early, denying angles, cutting off routes, forcing you to burn energy before you ever get a chance to create. And over the course of a game, that adds up. Your legs feel heavier, your breathing changes, your margin for error gets thinner. Shots you've made 1,000 times suddenly require more focus, more balance, more effort. And the challenge isn't just physical, it's psychological. Because you can't let yourself believe that the contact is personal or unfair. You have to accept it as part of the language of the league. The moment you start looking for calls or waiting for relief, you lose your edge. The players who thrive are the ones who understand that the physicality isn't meant to stop you. It's meant to see how disciplined you can stay when nothing feels easy. There's a rookie reality that nobody really prepares you for, and it lives right in that physical space. Veterans don't need to say anything to let you know what's coming. They test you with their bodies, not their words. They see how you respond to contact, how quickly you adjust, how long it takes before frustration shows up on your face. And that's not disrespect, that's how this league works. Respect isn't given because of what you did before you arrived. It's earned by how you handle what happens after you get here. Every bump is a question, every hard closeout is a challenge. Are you going to rush, complain, or shrink? Or are you going to stay composed and keep making the right reads? And as a rookie, you feel that pressure more because you know everyone is watching how you respond, not just fans or media, but the players across from you. The physicality becomes a conversation, and your body language is your answer. As the season went on, I realized that the physicality wasn't just something I had to endure, it was something that was actively reshaping how I played. Decisions had to come faster. Movements had to be sharper. There was no room for hesitation, because hesitation is exactly what defenders are waiting for. You learn to absorb contact without letting it knock you off rhythm, to finish plays even when your balance isn't perfect, to trust your work when your body is tired and your mind is crowded. Some nights, the box score doesn't reflect that battle, but you feel it when you wake up the next morning. You feel it in the soreness, in the film sessions where you replay moments and realize how much tougher the league is possession by possession. And slowly, you stop viewing physicality as something working against you. You start seeing it as a standard you have to meet. It forces you to be stronger, more intentional, more aware of every movement. The game doesn't slow down for you. You slow it down yourself by learning how to stay composed inside the chaos. Over time, what surprised me most was how much this physical side of the game changed my mindset, not just my body. I stopped thinking in terms of comfort and started thinking in terms of control. I couldn't control how much contact there would be, but I could control how I responded to it. I could control my preparation, my balance, my focus, and my willingness to keep attacking even when nothing felt easy. That's when the game started to feel different again. Not easier, but clearer. Physicality stopped feeling like resistance and started feeling like information. It told me where I needed to be stronger, where I needed to be smarter, and where I needed to trust myself more. And that's the part people don't always see. This league doesn't just challenge your talent, it challenges your habits, your patience, and your resilience. If you're watching this and you only see the highlights, just know there's another game happening underneath all of that. One that tests how much you're willing to adapt, how much you're willing to grow, and how long you're willing to stay steady when the pressure never lets up. If stories like this help you understand the game on a deeper level, stay here and subscribe, because this channel is about the realities you don't see on the stat sheet, but feel on every possession. Looking back, I'm actually grateful no one warned me properly, because if they had, I might have tried to prepare for the wrong things. You can't fully understand this level of physicality until you feel it, until your body learns it, until your mind adjusts to it, until your confidence proves it can survive contact without turning defensive. The WNBA didn't ask me to be tougher just for one game or one season. It asked me to grow into a version of myself that could handle pressure without losing clarity, and that growth doesn't happen loudly. It happens when most people never see. That's the reality of this league. It doesn't just test how well you play, it tests how well you adapt. And once you understand that, you stop fighting the challenge and start learning from it.